Yes, Laura, he'll be here after this, don't worry about
Give me a hard time.
How you doing?
To hear from the remaining top 5 candidates who are seeking your vote to be mayor of the city of Baltimore. We invite you, family, if you wish to join us tonight. Radio 1 will be hosted in Shallow Baptist Church, 2100 North Monroe Street. We'll be there tonight to hear from the candidates for U.S. senatorial elections, the mayor, the judges, and city council. And you're invited to come. There'll be lots of gospel artists and choirs. It's going to be very festive. You're encouraged to come by tonight. Of course, it's free with parking. 2100 North Monroe Street, the New Shallow Baptist Church. We will be at Coppin State University this coming Saturday from 12 until 6. And what a lineup do we have there for you. You would want to make your way there. We're going to have a step show, a DJ contest. We're going to have a fashion show, a children's zone. We're going to have R&B, hip hop, and jazz. And it's going to be a full 6 hours, and you would want to make your way there. And of course, we'll insert those candidates who invested in groups so that they might also have a moment on stage. So it should be a fantastic opportunity for you this coming Saturday from 12 to 6 at Coppin State in the physical education place. Now we have phase 2. We were given notice that candidate Elizabeth Henry could move on to another engagement, and that's how it is. But we do have with us a businessman named Warren Dixon, and Charles Stokes. All right, let's, if you don't mind, we'll start right now. We're going to have back to the traditional limitations on your time, 90 seconds or less. And the first question that I want to ask you is dealing with the Baltimore City Council and the mayor into a feud that's going to possibly lead to a vote of the citizens, and that is the power of the mayor being shortchanged. The city council wants a situation where the mayor, the president of the council, and the controller have equal votes. The mayor will have an equal vote, and not to have the 2 present members of the cabinet who serves with her on the Board of Estimates. My question to you is, would you agree to it, veto it, or you would rather wait and see if you're mayor? And let's start with Mr. Warren.
Well, I'd certainly rather wait to see when I'm mayor. But I do think this. I think that you gotta have a we mayor. And I think that the current mayor has been something more of an I mayor. And, you know, one of the things that I did, actually the first day that I declared that I was running, was I picked up the phone and I called Jack Young. And I said, you know, in my administration, I want to work cooperatively with you. I want to show you the respect that I think you deserve and perhaps you haven't gotten in the last few years. And I think that one of the big issues is with respect to the negativity that seems to be going back and forth between the mayor's office and the city council is a certain lack of respect that's been shown the president of the city council. And I think that we all have to work cooperatively to move this city forward. And I think that Jack Young, assuming that he's reelected, I think is a guy that can contribute in a very big way to that progress.
Now, correct me, I guess I understand this. If the council is able to pass it despite the mayor's potential veto, it would take effect to be put on the calendar for the election in November.
That's right.
So,
the charter
you will,
of
I mean, in effect, it affects this, you're out, the new
Correct.
mayor.
That's right.
And not the president.
Correct.
So that's why I'm just curious, would you be vetoing it, or is you obviously you decided?
I think you get a chance to veto it. I think if it's on the
Well,
ballot, it's on
No,
the
no,
ballot.
you're the mayor, and I'm putting it in.
If you were the mayor,
That's right,
you're
if you were the mayor.
If you were, would you veto?
I would let it go to the people, but I don't think it's a great idea.
Okay, we're good.
So, first, as city council president and as mayor, I had a great relationship with the council, and I work cohesively with the council, because it's about give and take. And it's unfortunate that Carl Stokes wasn't under my administration, because he would still be a partner with me, because I know what it takes to be in partnership and work as the manager of the city and the leader. And so, and President Young, who worked with me as a council, it's unfortunate that the council has come to 3 pieces of legislation that really minimizes the mayor's authority. with, not only with the charter change with the Board of Estimates, and right now, since I've worked under the other structure, of course, the mayor wants to have that structure, but you wanna make sure that when you do it, that it's transparent, and that you follow certain protocols, and engage and involve the president, city council, and the controller, just like what's happening with this Port Covington, and the MOU, an agreement that came yesterday before them, on a major issue that they had not had any real input on. That's not how you run city government as a team in an effective way. Now, you know, as mayor, I would like the current system and work with the council. But, since if this mayor vetoes it, it goes to the citizens and we'll let the citizens make that decision. I'll work either way, cause I've been working with those individuals in the past and worked well together.
Well, I've seen the structure of the mayor's office work on behalf of the citizens of Baltimore, and I believe, as has been said, that there ought to be cooperation with the president of the city council and with the council members. And under the structure, and when I was a city council person, not only did we have a relationship with the president of the city council, we had a relationship with the mayor as well. And there's an open door policy, and it's a policy that should, you know, move forward. However, you know, if this goes to the voters, then I think the voters will decide, but I think it will be up to the incoming mayor to help make the argument as to why it should remain the way that it is currently. But again, for me, whatever system is put in place, I'll be able to work with that.
All right, Justin?
So the bill that we're talking about is the bill actually that I put in, even though I knew I was gonna be running for mayor, because I just feel very strongly that there currently is an imbalance. That, hey man, so it's an imbalance. It doesn't work that way in any other city in America. It doesn't work that way in federal government. The president and the Congress has much more. It's a balance of power. It's what the framers of the Constitution wanted for America. And so I wanted too for the citizens of Baltimore. You shouldn't have two unelected people making decisions for the citizens of this city. Like yesterday, as my colleagues just mentioned, there's a major issue before the citizens, and they are going to have to give up $535 million, and yet we did not even get a chance to look at what this deal is or is not. And then the mayor, with her two unelected partners, voted to move this forward, even though the comptroller and the president of the city council said, we need to postpone, we need more time to look at this. And so it's just not workable as far as I'm concerned.
All right. Next question, start with, what will you do to continue the job growth and development we have seen in our city?
Well, in my plan, economic development, jobs, and prosperity, the Sun noted that it was the most comprehensive. The first thing is city government tripling our training money, because I go back to training and for those jobs is so important. Secondly, what I want to do for city government, and along with some of our huge anchors, is to open opportunities, particularly the African American businesses. I already have a great track record in doing that, but we need to expand it. And one of the things that has to happen is to help these companies meet capacity and capital. You know, there are companies that are at different levels, and we have to work with them. So I'm going to combine a number of our MB and WB offices that are come under one umbrella, so that we'll know what's going on in each agency, and they understand what the overall goals are for us for city government. Because if you drive down in Baltimore right now and you look at all the streets where there's underground utilities and water pipes are being changed, etc. Just look at the people and ask them where did they come from. They're not city residents. So that is a huge issue that we've got to begin with. And so the training is going to be, for me, one of the key pieces to connect individuals and get them trained and get those jobs.
Well,
And the question was, how do we continue?
will you
working?
keep, yes, how you continue the job growth and development?
Well, let me just say that we are growing jobs in Baltimore, but I believe that it is the mayor who sets the tone and the vision for the city. How do you go about attracting more jobs to the city? Because if we want to grow our city, we're going to grow our population, we certainly want to expand jobs and job opportunities. So I believe that the city mayor is the cheerleader for doing that. We have the Economic Alliance where the mayor and the surrounding colleagues, her counterparts and the surrounding her colleagues would go out to the very businesses and try to lure them to our city, and I think that we need to continue to do that. The other thing is, and I agree on the training dollars, I would like to see us do more training on the job. so that when we attract those companies to our city, that we provide them with training dollars as well, so that we can employ people. Instead of having all of these nonprofit groups and organizations training people, let's train them on the job and provide for those companies and corporations when they come to our city, our people in our city who have capacity and capability, but may not have the expertise, provide them with the training dollars to be able to do those jobs.
Thank you.
Yes, so, small businesses, we have a unique situation in Baltimore. Nationally, 50% of all jobs come from small business, 50%. In Baltimore, 90% of all our jobs are in small business. So I would put more money, small grants, low interest loans, instead of $100 million to one developer, give $250,000 to 40 small businesses, non-traditional businesses, because that's where the growth is, in small businesses in this town. And we should grow the wealth in our communities, giving more support to non-traditional businesses or small business owners in this town, which I talked about earlier, in growing the wealth in our community. Also, what was mentioned earlier, trade unions, and we have to rebuild our city, our own city, without those folks whose license plates are from Virginia and Pennsylvania and Delaware and other place else. And so, working with our trade unions and our construction trade prime contractors in this city, we can put more people to work sooner. They can learn, they can get a pay while they're learning, and then they'll get a stronger pay at the end of their journey.
Thank you very much, Senator Pugh. Will you keep the commitment to?
You forgot
Oh, I'm
Dr.
sorry.
David Warnock.
I'm the guy, I'm
He's in
the
the
jobs
Charles
guy.
Stokes
Just
Thank you.
watching the clock and not watching my candidates.
Oh, that's fine.
Important, partner.
Well, let me give you 5 quick things that I think we can do, and I think we can make a big difference in our city. One is, we've got to really continue to double down and reduce the barriers that people have, particularly our returning citizens, to getting jobs in the first place. And that's what we've been doing at the Center for Urban Families. We've got 30,000 people with expungible non-convictions in Baltimore. We've got to fix that because employers look at that on the database. Second, we do need to have a mayor's office of small business. We could spend hours talking about the disrespect city government shows small business, which is, as Carl said, the creators of jobs in Baltimore. Third, we need to take our anchor institutions, as I've talked to all those CEOs, and bring their suppliers to Baltimore. Have a mayor that's out there pitching those. 4, we need to have a transformation in our regional transportation system, because we can put hundreds of people to work by creating an east-west transportation system. I've talked about a modified red line that goes from Social Security to Lexington Market. We can put hundreds of people to work doing that, but also we've got to get people east and west to those jobs across the city. And then 5th, we've got to have a concerted effort to graduate our kids from high school with the toolkit they need to get those jobs of tomorrow today.
Thank you so much.